They say money changes people, but I wanted to see if my family would change without knowing I had it. I tested their love, and the truth almost shattered me. When Ethan discovers he's the winner of a $38 million lottery jackpot, his world turns upside down, but not in the way most people dream. Instead of celebrating, he keeps it a secret, determined to see who truly cares for him without the shadow of money. Disguised as someone in need, Ethan turns to his closest family members for small acts of help: a loan, a place to stay, a meal. What follows is a heartbreaking journey through greed, betrayal, and unexpected kindness. As lies unravel and hidden truths surface, Ethan must decide whether revealing his fortune will heal the wounds or burn every bridge left standing. I won millions in the lottery, and I decided not to tell anyone the ticket that changed everything. The rain was coming down in lazy sheets that night, the kind that makes the streets shine like black glass. I was driving home from the garage, hands sore, shirt smelling faintly of engine oil, when I realized I was out of milk. My apartment was 3 blocks from the gas station, so I pulled in. The fluorescent lights inside buzzed softly as the door chimed. I grabbed the milk, and as I stood in line behind a woman buying cigarettes, my eyes drifted to the bright display of lottery tickets by the register. A green and gold one caught my eye. State jackpot, $38 million. Throw one of those in too, I told the cashier. Big draw tomorrow, he said, tearing it from the roll and sliding it toward me. You never know. If only he knew how true that was. The next morning, I sat at my small kitchen table with a bowl of cereal, phone open to the winning numbers. One by one, I matched them. My heart pounded so hard, I thought it might crack my ribs. 0214-192-33541. All of them, every single one. I dropped the spoon, milk splashing onto my jeans. My breath came in short bursts, the edges of my vision narrowing. 100 thoughts collided: cars, houses, quitting my job, traveling. But then, another thought pushed through the chaos. Who would be here for me if I had nothing? Who actually cares, and who only pretends? Because the truth was, my family wasn't the fairy tale version people imagine. We'd grown up in a small, tight house with more bills than space, always promising we'd stick together no matter what. But adulthood had revealed cracks: money disputes, petty jealousies, whispered gossip. So I made a decision. I locked the ticket in the small safe under my bed. I wasn't going to tell anyone. Not yet. I wanted to see them for who they truly were, not who they were when I was worth millions. That afternoon, I called my older brother, Daniel. "Hey man," I said, forcing a tone of uncertainty into my voice. "Listen, I'm short on rent this month. Any chance you could help me out? Just $500. Silence. 500. His tone had that sharp edge, the one that told me he was annoyed I'd even asked. "That's a lot, Ethan. You know I've got expenses too." I swallowed. "I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious," he sighed. "I'll think about it. But don't expect much. Times are tight." We hung up. An hour later, I saw his Facebook post, him grinning next to a brand new 65-inch TV. That night, I started a journal. On the first page, I wrote in bold letters, "Test results, family." And so, the experiment began. The first test 3 days later. I went to see my cousin Mia. She lived in a small apartment above a bakery, always smelling faintly of cinnamon. She opened the door in a flour-dusted apron, her brown hair pulled into a messy bun. "Ethan, you okay?" You look tired. I nodded, stepping inside. I hate to ask, but I'm in a bit of a bind. Rent's due. I'm short. Anything helps. She didn't hesitate. She pulled out her worn leather wallet, counted out $50, and handed it over. Then she went to the kitchen and packed a bag with bread, soup cans, and 2 apples. "It's not much," she said, "but at least you won't be hungry." Something in my chest tightened. I wrote in my journal later, Mia passed. No hesitation. Kindness over judgment. I tried my Aunt Linda next. She opened the door halfway, her expression unreadable. "You need money. Again, Ethan, you're 33. When are you going to start making better choices?" I forced a sheepish smile. "Just a rough month." She shook her head. "I can't keep bailing you out. Learn to stand on your own 2 feet. The door clicked shut at the garage. My boss mentioned overhearing a customer talk about someone in town winning the jackpot. I kept my face still, my hands busy wiping grease from a wrench. "Imagine that," I said casually. "Some people get all the luck." Inside, I was laughing. If only you knew. Cracks in the family portrait. A week later, I went to see my mother, Margaret. Her house was exactly as I remembered. Lace curtains, polished wood floors, and a faint scent of lavender polish. I sat at the kitchen table. "Mum, I need a place to stay for a bit, just until I'm back on my feet." She sipped her tea without looking at me. "I don't think that's a good idea. I need my space, Ethan. Besides, the guest room's full of storage." Storage? I'd seen that storage last year, 2 boxes and a spare chair. "So, you'd rather I sleep in my car?" Her eyes flickered, but she didn't answer. I left without another word. Mia called me that night. "If you need somewhere to crash, my couch is yours. I'll even make pancakes in the morning." It wasn't luxury, but it was warmth. It was humanity. My journal entry read, "Mom failed. Space valued over son." Mia passed again. Solid gold, the breaking point by now. Whispers had started. A rumor went around that I owed dangerous people money. Daniel called, not to help, but to advise me to stop embarrassing the family. "You need to stop showing up at people's doors," he snapped. "You're making us look bad." I laughed bitterly. "Don't worry, Danny. Soon you won't have to see me at all." 2 days later, I overheard my mother on the phone with Linda. "If Ethan ever gets money, we'll make sure he shares. After all, family takes care of each other." The hypocrisy made my stomach turn. I knew then the test was over. The reveal and the goodbye. Rented the function hall on Main Street under the pretense of hosting a small fundraiser for local relief efforts. I invited every family member. They arrived in clusters, chatting, sipping drinks, waiting for some charity. PITCH. I walked on stage, microphone in hand. My voice was steady. 5 weeks ago, I won $38 million in the state lottery, and I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to know who would help me when I had nothing. Gasps, a few nervous laughs that I went down the list, who I'd asked, what they'd said, what they'd done. Faces flushed, eyes darted away. Then I turned to Mia. "You gave me $50, food, and a couch without hesitation. You didn't know I had millions. You just cared. For that, I'm giving you $1 million today." She burst into tears. The rest of the room froze. "As for the rest of you," I continued, "I hope one day you learn the value of kindness before it's too late." I walked out, left them staring, left the weight of silence behind. The sun was setting as I drove toward the city. The lottery check sat in the glove compartment. My future was wide open, but my family, my real family, had been reduced to one name in my journal, and that was enough.